Nagisa is the one hiding under your bed, teeth grown sharp, eyes glowing red. Fear him. Good day, good people. Toon Dave, the year of the horizon. The purple is on, which means you know it's time for a very special episode of PreSeason, a very special episode of the Danganronpa Hunger Games. It's time. Agent of Chaos time. Tag team Agents of Chaos, and what could be the last time you see many of these teams together. Because of course every season we go through a little bit of a team shakeup. We're probably going to have more team shakeup this time than usual. But for right now, here's the deal. In fact, we'll introduce everyone who's here first, then we'll explain the Agents of Chaos. So first, let's start off at the top. Holy Trinity of the Sheep, Monica, Nanae Chiaki, and Sonia. The Pimped Out Rides, Mondo, Kazuichi, and Mew. No AI in Team, Alter Ego, Chiaki, and Aiba. Band Aid, your girls Band Aid, Ibuki, Mikan, and Seiko. The Big Buff Family, Sakura, Nekomaru, and Gonta. The Steel-Minded Girls, Kaede, Komaru, and Sarah. The Thumbtack Terrors, Crazy Yoko, and Usami. Animal Ears, Jin, Aiko, and Iris. Moving on, we have hashtag Grace, Mukuro, and Hina. Small and Mighty, Fuihiko, and Chihiro. Awful, Intense, Haiji, and Tengen. Way of the Sword, Taka, Peko, and Munakata. Blue-Haired Betrayal, Sayaka, and Samugi. Single Parenting, Hiroko, Jin, and Captain Geralt. Ultra Despair Hagakure has Kanon and Hiro. The Babysitters Club has Maki, Nagisa, and Masaru. The Degenerate Destroyers, Tenko, Mahiru, and Reiko. The Perfect Professors, Chisa, Kizakura, and Mishima. Faith and Reason, Kotoko, Angie, and Jotaro. And onward again, the Mechanical Good Boys, last season's Tag Team Agents of Chaos, Kibo, Mekamaru. Togami Corporation, Togami, and Pennyworth. The Fight Club, Juzo, the Great Gozu, and Felix. Expert Deductions, Kyoko, Shuichi, and Keiji. Mind Trip, Maya, and Pewter. The Confectioner's Couple, Ruruka, and Izuyoi. Ultra Despair Boys, Taichi, and Yuta. Family Business, Teru, and Oda. The Bass Bros, Leon, and Kyutaro. Robbed Winners, Yasuke, and Kurakuma. A New Hope, Makoto, and Hajime. Healthy Appetites having Akane, Daisaku, and Fat Togami. And as we scroll down a little bit more, we have Twilight Syndrome Murder, Sato and Natsumi. The Master Mages, Himiko Gundam, and Lysithia, the Lovin' Brothers. Rantaro, Cory in the House, and Alice. The OG Squad, Junko, and Genocide Jack. The Murderous Mascots, Monokuma, and Zero the Third. And of course, Boss Time, Celeste, Karumi, and Boss. And that's everyone. So two little bits here. The top 6 placing teams in this game will join the Rats, Combat Science, The Power of God and Anime, Astrophysics, The Entourage, and Literary Arts in the tag team premiere. And the winning team, ladies and gentlemen, which means it's time to bring this music back, will be your tag team, Agents of Chaos. Meaning every week they'll spin a wheel. If it hits, not every week, I'm sorry, every week that the champions are in, a wheel will be spun, determining if the Agents of Chaos will make that into a championship match, forcing the champion to defend. Every episode that it does spin, that chance is increased by 5%. And it becomes terrifying, it becomes tense. One of the tensest things about this series now. But there is one small caveat. because there are tag team OCs and tag team singles. And if an OC champion happens to win either of those, the rules differ slightly. Where if the Agents of Chaos are in the episode, they're allowed to spin without the champion being there. So yes, a bunch of chaos could happen. Are we prepared? I think that's all we got. Which means we can go back to this music. We'll just go back to this. Do I... I thought I had it. I don't have the die. While I go and fetch the die, it'll be real quick, I promise. Let me know, who do you got for first? In fact, give me your top 6 fantasy draft. Which 6 of these teams would you like to see the most compete for the titles? I'll do mine too. First, I gotta grab these die. And make sure you leave those comments because they're important, like this one. And this one. And this one, because there is one more thing that we need to talk about before we get into this. So I'll be right back. It was actually right there. It's actually right there. Actually did not have to go anywhere for that. I could reach it, because I am long and lanky. I'll make my 6, but I bet you guys are wondering, why did Fight Club... Why are they golden? Well, let me tell you. This is also in reference to the gimmick for Season 6. One of you, maybe a couple of you will figure this out. It will be, since you remember that vote a long time ago, we've had something similar to Battle of the Brand. We did the Despair Dimension. And so, I had more ideas, but I thought it would be strange to just not include this one, because it was technically the second place choice. It is Dying Light. In Dying Light, there will be a district of light bearers. One district will be selected at random. I selected before this episode started, and Fight Club got that selection. They are the light bearers. So if one member of Fight Club wins, everyone who that person killed would also come to the finale with them. Now, that's not going to be in effect this time because it's just a preseason episode, but that is how it will work. In singles play, and I think I'm gonna do it in tag team play too, because the odds are low that it'll ever hit, so we do want to see it hit. We want to see that special stipulation. That's the special stipulation for this time around. But let me tell you my top 6. I want the Steel-Minded Girls, and I want Band-Aid. I want Animal Ears. I want Small and Mighty. Two more. Master Mages, I love them. And it's gonna be weird not picking boss time, but I want the OG squad in. I want squad up, squad goals, those are my 6. But ladies and gentlemen, that's just my 6. We're not gonna dilly-dally. We cannot wait. We got a lot of people to get through, which means it's time to roll this die. A staple that was just introduced technically last season. I can hardly remember. I can also knock on wood, but that didn't work too well last time. So we're just gonna spin it this time. Or roll it rather. A few good ooh, that was almost bad. It almost collided right with the Year of the Horizon sign. We are re-simulating 2. 2? Yes, 2 times. Which means you can roll your shoulders back, you can kick back, relax, all cool, as we re-simulate. Not just one time, but twice as many times as one time. We will be re-simulating. 2 times. What awaits beyond the horizon? Speech? Speech level 2? Let's do this. It is time. Toon Link, Dave, you ready? It's chaos time. I guess I didn't... Before we start, tell me who do you think will be the Agents of Chaos? I don't know why, but I have a horrible feeling it's gonna be the blue-haired betrayal. That's just my thoughts. So you'll edit those real quick. I'm gonna proceed. Because as the tributes standing on their podiums. The horns. They do. Oh, they are sounding. Sound? The horns! Very nice. Nagisa snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Keiji runs away from the cornucopia. Alice grabs a shield leaning on the cornucopia. Akane runs away from the cornucopia. Cannon rips a mace out of Fuyuhiko's hands. Kibo runs away from the cornucopia. Izuyoi snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Kamaru arrives at the arena. Her memory's completely wiped. The sole thing she can remember is her name. Someone needs to help the poor girl out. Someone help her out. You have your steel-minded girls, go ahead and do it. Yasuke and Pewter make a secret pact together. Sarah finds a book titled How to Cook Aiko, a Beginner's Guide. Aiko is both amazed and horrified at the level of detail within the book. Why would you... Okay. Kurumi repeatedly stabs Kotoko with a butcher's knife, all while laughing wildly. Kotoko, your team's still in. I'm hoping for you, if I'm being completely honest. Mikon and the Great Gozu immediately become friends. Lysithea runs away from the cornucopia, so does Boss, as does Mekamaru. Angie ignores the games and goes looking for food. Chihiro runs away from the cornucopia, so does Hina, but Hiro somehow rips a mace out of Captain Gerald's hands. Hiro, I don't know what kind of... Oh, right below that's not good. Don't know what kind of mastermind you are lately, but here you are. Ruka sets off an explosive, killing Shuichi, Munakata, and Kizakura. Ugh. Yuta shoots a poisonous dart into Samugi's neck, slowly killing her. Ugh. Hiroko enters the games feeling a little under the weather. So, pleasantly, Sonia and Gonta, I buy that too. Those sweet peas. Comfort her and offer to take care of her this game. Ezreal III ignores the game and goes looking for food. Mahiru and Crazy Yoko argue over supplies. Corey, oh no, takes the advantage and kills them both. And they're such good friends, Mahiru and Crazy Yoko. Mahiru, I thought this was your season to change, but maybe it's not. Kyoko runs away from the cornucopia. Kyutaro begins working on plans to overthrow Monokuma. Chitaro runs away from the cornucopia, as does Alter Ego, as does Iris, as does Jin Kirigiri, Mr. Kyoko's dad. A sudden surge of dread overcomes Kaede as they notice Usami staring at her. Okay. Chiaki ignores the opening ceremony and plays video games with Aiba instead. That's in character. Sayaka and Peko engage in a friendly knife fight. Celeste, Maya, and Himiko prepare for the coming harvest. Leon runs away from the cornucopia. Rantaro grabs a new backpack for the new school year. Kuroko, a lot of you have started the new school year actually, jeez Louise. Kurakuma finds a backpack full of camping equipment. Sakura runs away from the cornucopia, as does Oda. Teruteru ignores the games and goes looking for food, maybe goes cooking food. Makoto runs away from the cornucopia. Taichi receives a vision of him brutally dying at the hands of Felix and Seiko. As he sees them approaching, he uses this insight, this foresight to avoid dying. That's the remaining chaos in that man's brain. He's like, I've been in a match like this before. I'm doing it again. Chiaki takes a sickle from inside of the cornucopia. Taka forces Ibuki to start singing Please Give Me Wings. Masaru ignores the opening ceremony, playing video games with Haiji instead. I didn't think that would... Haiji, maybe you've changed, but I doubt it, but maybe you've changed. Mondo takes a loaded shotgun from the supplies and fires it at Monica. Monica can see the pellets approaching in slow motion and dodges them all. It's the power of the sheep. Togami receives a vision of him brutally dying at the hands of Junko and Hajime. Secretly a Zuru, I bet. As he sees them approaching, he uses the foresight to avoid dying. Monokuma spots his most prized possession hidden among the supplies. Is it your kids? Is it the Monokubs? Mew grabs them first as she reaches them. Reiko ignores the games and goes looking for food. Juzo runs away from the cornucopia. Jin investigates with Genocide Jack, but secretly kills Tengen during the investigation. Jin, oh my gosh. Daisaku strangles Mukuro with a rope. You're right back to your old antics, Mukuro. Maki trips over their feet and breaks her neck on the way down. A shame. Nekomaru begins to bully Natsumi relentlessly. A sudden urge of dread overcomes Fat Togami as they notice Tenko staring at them. Yeah, that's about right. Tenko does not like these degenerate males. Chisa accidentally steps on a landmine. Jeez Louise. Pennyworth argues with Monokuma. Sato runs away from the cornucopia. Gundam grabs a sword. Kazuichi takes a handful of new pencils. And Mishima clutches a first aid kit and runs away. We gotta keep going because we lost a lot, but we got a lot to go. Oh my. Day 1, Gundam makes a wooden spear. Usami spins so fast that she becomes a human Beyblade. Mew, Kurakuma, Rantaro, Sato, Gonta, and Kyoko are forced to play the majority game. Kyoko receives the most votes, but unfortunately for the others, she was the sacrifice, so everyone else gets executed. However, via the rules of the sacrifice, she chooses Gonta not to be executed. Seems like expert deductions and the Big Buff family are sticking together. Gerald takes a sip of tea, but the scalding hot liquid proves too much for him and he spits it out into Hiroko's face. She's sick too. Oh, poor girl. Zero the Third eats too much candy and can't sit still. Nane Chiaki, Tenko, and Fuyugo come up with a complicated escape plan. Junko, Iris, Mondo, and Alice play cards together. Mekamaru holds Felix's head underwater, but Felix grabs his arm and pulls him into the lake with him. Both tributes are unable to kill one another, so they simply swim away. Interesting. Mishima indulges in a seasonal beverage or two. I don't know how you survived that, Mekamaru, but I guess you're waterproof. And so does Akane. Fat Togami, Yasuke, and Angie get into a fight. Fat Togami triumphantly kills them both. Rest in peace. Chihiro encounters a fruit bat, who immediately takes a liking to him and joins his side +1 buddy. Reiko, Aiko, and Kori get chased by a rampaging Ibuki. Jin and Taka talk about their lives together. Nagisa taints Celeste's food, killing her. Gosh darn it, Celeste. Boss time could still come out on top for you, though. Leon confesses how much he has come to hate Lysithea. Lysithea runs away from crying. You don't do that to Lysithea, Leon. How could you? How could you? How could he? Togami strangles Izuyoi with a rope. It's not our boy's day. Kurumi steals from Aiba while she isn't looking. Natsumi, Seiko, Sonia, and Sakura hunt her for their tributes. Ruruka finds a worm in her apple. Hina attempts to climb a tree but falls on Genocide Jack, killing them both. Haiji tries to sneak attack Taichi, but Taichi catches on and runs away. Daisaku sees a completely pale Hajime washed ashore unmoving. Daisaku revives him with CPR. You saved the man's life. Juzo, that's not what you're supposed to do in these games. Juzo's injures himself. Jin, Nekamaru, the Great Gozu, Mikan, and Masaru hunt for other tributes. Maya and Yuta fight Makoto and Pewter. Makoto and Pewter actually survive. Monika's pricked by thorns while picking berries. Pennyworth puts on a pair of shutter shades, increasing his aesthetic level tenfold, making Boss and Sarah envious. Will that envy come back to bite him in the butt? We'll have to wait and see. Oda takes a sip of tea, but the scalding hot liquid proves too much for him and he spits it out right into Kyutaro's face. Hiro eats too much candy and can't sit still. Kamaru sees smoke rise in the distance but decides not to investigate. She's probably so confused, she doesn't have her memories. Kanon and Teruteru grievously injure each other during a vicious fight. In order to survive, they have to nurse each other back to health. Alter Ego and Sayaka hunt for other tributes. Peko sets off an explosive, killing Kazuichi, Chiaki, Himiko, and Monokuma. Kibo sees a completely pale Jotaro washed ashore unmoving. He also revives him. Very nice. Hajime and Jotaro back from the dead. Keiji fishes, and Asylum Akamatsu falls into a pit and perishes. That's a shame. We'll proceed. 28. Okay, I mean, we got a lot of people, but 28 is a lot. 28 is a whole lot, as we hit a Claire de Lune 4. Kotoko, Shuichi, Munakata, Kizakura, Samugi, Mahiru, Crazy Hyoko, Tengen, Mukuro, Maki, Chisa, Miu, Kurokuma, Rentaro, Sato, Yasuke, Angie, Celeste, Izuyoi, Hina, Genocide Jack, Maya, Yuta, Kazuichi, Chiaki, Himiko, Monokuma, Kaie Day. Let's see everybody's statuses. We have, how many left? 65. So we gotta keep going. 65's a whole lot. 65's, what, more than twice the game. Twice a normal sized game. So let's go on, because this isn't a normal game. There's still more chaos to unfold as we click proceed to night 1. Pennyworth delivers an intense motivational speech to Mishima and Jin, inspiring them to give their all in these games. Mekamaru gets killed and replaced by a realistic doll made in his image. I don't know. Okay. Chihiro, Komaru are both awoken by eerie carnival music that no one else seems to hear. Mikan, Leon, and Akane tell each other their pet peeves. Gerald and Reiko vow to protect each other. A starving Makoto trades nearly half of his supplies to Nekomaru for Nekomaru's loaf of bread. Gundam destroys Hajime's supplies while he's asleep. He's recovering from getting passed out on the shore. Natsumi tries to sing herself to sleep, unable to get a fire going. Daisaku, Lysithea, and Kyoko are forced to huddle together for warmth. Boss thinks about winning. You needed to think about that more during season 5, but maybe this is your time. Haiji severely injures Haruka and leaves her to die. Rest in peace. That is the confectioner's couple out. Alter Ego encounters a swarm of vampire bats who immediately attack and suck all of its blood out. I don't think Alter Ego has any blood, but that's a shame. He had a friendly fruit bat, and it was apparently a curse because now it's vampire bats. The Great Gozu cries himself to sleep. Masaru cuddles up against Alice. Juzo fiercely shakes up a can of soda and pops the tab, blasting Sonya in the face with a stream of soda. Ugh. Peko, Jotaro, and Nane Aichiaki play a game of Monopoly. Peko loses all of her properties and flips the board over. She lost her cool. Monopoly is the friendship ender. Oda and Monica hold hands. Kibo receives an explosion from an unknown sponsor. Kyutaro goes to sleep. Nagisa is the one hiding under your bed. Teeth grown sharp. Eyes glowing red. Fear him. Usami unknowingly eats toxic berries. Togami panics and tries to cure her. And succeeds! I'm surprised. That one, we haven't gotten the fail version of that one yet. Aiko gets distracted. Taichi fends Hiroko, Fatogami, and Sarah away from his fire. Zero the Third, Junko, Aiba, Ibuki, and Kurumi savor the warmth of a roaring bonfire as well as a beverage of their choice. Iris attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Teruteru shoots an arrow into Mondo's head. They are getting close to out. They might already be out, actually. Peter sees a seesaw, prepares a seesaw homicide, and it works, and he kills Sakura. Gonta kills Keiji while he is asleep. Taka. Y'all are getting close to out too. Expert deductions. Taka receives an explosion from an unknown sponsor. Hiro tries to stay up all night to catch the mastermind, but falls asleep. Sayaka and Jin talk about the tribute still alive. You two end up together a lot for some reason. Seiko was caught with the deleted... Seiko. We're cool. You remember the season? I Managed Band-Aid actually got you guys to the top. Got you guys plenty of wins. You're grounded. You don't get special treatment. You're grounded. Fuihiko screams for help. A starving Cory trades nearly half of his supplies for Tenko's loaf of bread. Maki grabs Felix by the throat. Training! And Kanon accidentally steps on a landmine. She is gonzo, but will proceed. Today too, Sonya investigates the school grounds looking for clues. Mikan fishes. Sayaka forces Sarah to take a pill that will turn her into a monster. When she takes the pill though, nothing happens. Hopefully that doesn't come into effect later. Ibuki eats dirt. Yum, I don't think that's the first time you've done that, Ibuki. Taichi breaks down and starts weeping from an unknown reason, and Nekomaru tries to console him. Ultimate team manager, let's go. Jin creates his own superhero identity and enlists Iris as his sidekick. She would be down. Alice shoots an arrow into Togami's head, rip. Taka fishes. Felix begs for Usami to kill him. She refuses, keeping Felix alive. Akane does a rain dance, summoning a thunderstorm. A random bolt of lightning strikes Gonta down. Oh, Gonta. Chihiro takes a sip of tea, but it's scalding hot. Too much for him, and he spits it into his partner's face. Okay. Hiroko, another explosive, sets off an explosive killing Teruteru, Mishima, Komaru, who never got her memories back, and Daisaku. Natsumi searches for a water source. Jotaro stabs Reiko with a tree branch. Ibuki is up there, so I don't know why I said her name, if I'm being completely honest. Kibo receives a knife from an unknown sponsor. Pennyworth eats too much candy and can't sit still. Junko feigns death, tricking Jin into ignoring her. Seiko explores the arena. Monica, Kurumi, and Haiji argue over what ingredients to buy from the arena supermarket. Avi's wares and despairs. Lysithea, Aiba, and Pewter make homemade weapons. Makoto designs jack-o'-lantern patterns. Nagisa and Cory ponder their existence as they gaze across a vast field of fallen leaves. I don't know why, but that feels very proper for you two. That feels very in character. Boss feigns death, tricking Zero the Third into ignoring her. Hero seems to be dead, but it is indeed a lie. Kyoko, Aiko, and Peko hunt for other tributes. I forced Leon, after what he did earlier, to work at the arena supermarket. Avi's wares and despairs as a cashier after it becomes a little bit understaffed. Juzo and Kyutaro think this is an opportunity to score free food from him. Leon, I swear, if you let anyone get away with free food at AV's Wares and Despairs, I'm coming for you. We will tussle. You'll catch these hands. Tenko confesses how much she has come to hate Gundam. Gundam kills Tenko with her own weapon. Gundam's not out here playing games, ladies and gentlemen. Gozu is exposed to Masaru's sensitivity aura, causing him to be more emotional. Oh, it's probably that sprite of him crying. That's poor boy. Oda catches the despair disease and starts posing dramatically. Hajime finds a violin and begins to play it horribly, much to Mekamaru's frustration. I thought you would have been good at that, Hajime. Fat Togami and Nane Achiaki split up to search for resources, and Geralt receives a bottle of poison from an unknown sponsor. We lost 14. From 65 down 14 more, can we get a quick Claire de Lune for Ruruka, Alter Ego, Mondo, Sakura, Keiji, Kanon, Togami, Gonta, Teruteru, Mishima, Komaru, Daisaku, Reiko, Tenko. Let's take a peek at everybody's statuses. All of the Honoro, oh my gosh, the whole Holy Trinity of the Sheep is still in, but the Pimped Out Rides are completely out. That's a shame for them. No AI in team still has Aiba. Band-Aid completely in. The Big Buff family only has Nekamaru, while the Steel-Minded Girls only have Sarah. Thumbtack Terrors only have Usami. The Animaleers are also completely in. It's a lot of trios just going strong. Hashtag Grace is gone. Small and Mighty, still completely in. Awful Intent still have Haiji. Way of the Sword still have Taka and Peko. Blue Hair Betrayal only has Sayaka. Single Parenting, completely in. Ultra Despair Hagakure only has Hero. Babysitters Club lost Maki, they still have Nagisa and Masaru. Degenerate Destroyers and the Perfect Professors completely out. Faith and Reason is holding on to a prayer with Jotaro. All he needs to do is get second place again, and they're in the finale. I mean, in the season 5 premiere. Mechanical Good Boys has Kibo and Mekamaru. Togami Corporation has Pennyworth. The 5 Club completely in, but with no kills. Imagine one of them wins, but it's a pacifist victory. Lamau. Expert Deductions holding on to a prayer with Kyoko. Mind Trip with Pewter. Confectioner's Couple out. Ultra Despair Boys Taichi. Family Business Oda. Base Bros completely in. Rod Winners out. A New Hope completely in. Healthy Appetites Akane and Fat Togami. TSM, Natsumi, Master Mages, Lost Himiko has Gundam and Lysithia, Loving Brothers, Corey, and Alice, the OG squad still has Junko, Murderous Mascot still have Zero the Third, and Boss Time still has Karumi, and Boss, we cannot wait, we must proceed. Who you got? Are your picks still in? Hopefully they are, because we gotta proceed and we lose a whole bunch more. Uh-oh. As we start night 2, we're about to lose a whole bunch more. Fat Togami attacks Lysithia, but Boss protects her, killing Fat Togami. He will not get his first win today. Boss Time and the Master Mages stay strong in. Ibuki tends to her wounds. Captain Geralt encounters a swarm of vampire bats who immediately attacked him, sucking all of his blood out, and he is gonzo. Chihiro passes out from exhaustion. Sarah and Taichi hold hands. Interesting. Usami thinks about home. Aiko confesses her love for Masaru. Masaru is like, no, girls, ew. Sonya shoots a poisonous blow dart into Haiji's neck, slowly killing him. Awful Intense is out of here. In a team building exercise. Mekamaru and Gozu tell each other what they hate about one another. I guess that is a pretty good team building exercise. Gundam, Pennyworth, Juzo, and Nekamaru tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Sayaka's reflection in the mirror distorts her to show her true self. Is she pleased with what she sees? I'm not gonna do anything about it. Fuyiko introduces Seiko and Leon to his imaginary friend. There's nobody there. Kibo discovers Felix hanging upside down from a telephone pole. Nobody knows what happened, but Felix certainly isn't alive to tell the tale. It was Maki. Makoto stabs Aiko in the back with a trident, and that's the end of No AI in team. Peko puts her trust in Jotaro and allows herself to fall backwards. Jotaro does nothing and watches her fall down. How rude. Kyoko introduces Hiroko and Karumi to her imaginary friend, which apparently is her team because there's nobody there. Rest in peace to them. Hiro stood in front of the ashes of a trillion dead souls and asked if honor matters. The silence was their answer. Akane receives an explosion from an unknown sponsor. Hopefully she uses it. Monica signs a petition to change American football into yeet ball. Alice throws a party at his shelter and invites Corey, Hajime, and Nagisa. The party turns sour when they all start arguing over what song they should be blasting to the speakers. I'm sure Alice wants to play something from his old band. Corey, I don't know what Corey wants to play. Hajime wants to play something normal, and Nagisa maybe something classical. I could see him being a classical listener. Iris questions her sanity. Kyutaro, Zero the Third, Jin all play Monopoly. Kyutaro, of course, loses all of his properties and flips the board over. I believe that. I don't think Kyutaro's that great at Monopoly. It doesn't seem like it. Taka rests in her fruit tree. Jin finally shakes the tree to retrieve some fruit, but it also causes Taka to fall on top of him, killing them both. It's trees all over again, man. We forgot all about them, but they are still as powerful as ever. Mikon stabs Oda through the heart, straight through the heart. As Mikon walks away satisfied, I realize that is that in her back pocket? Is it? I don't know why every member of Band-Aid is trying to cross me right now, but I swear to you. Ooh, pulled a hammy doing that one. Oh, she is all trying to cross me. I swear to you. There we go. See, even my snap is off, let me tell you. Ugh. I'm sorry, Mikon. Nobody gets special treatment. Natsumi prays to Atua that she makes it out alive, with minimal bloodshed of course. Nane Achiaki disowns Pewter for being a disgrace to the family. Junko is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth as we proceed to day 3. Corey confesses how much he has come to hate Nekomaru. Nekomaru is like, feelings mutual. Sayaka. The beef's over. Sets off an explosive, killing Hiro, Kurumi, and Zero the Third. Akane, Iris, Monica, Kyutaro, and the doll that is Mekamaru hunt for other tributes. Alice brainstorms his new Halloween costume. Jin enjoys a pumpkin spice latte. How basic. Bosk gets stuck raking the leaf. That's a boring normal task, or just okay. Seiko sleeps the entire day away from everyone else. Usami eats too much candy and can't sit still. Ibuki has post-traumatic stress disorder. Flashbacks to the Great Skeleton War. A war so atrocious that you don't even need to have been there to have PTSD flashbacks of it. Makoto, Hajime, Hiroko, and Chihiro raid Leon's camp while he's hunting. Sarah and Taichi hunt for other tributes. Peko puts thumbtacks in Pewter's shoes. Pewter sees these thumbtacks in his shoes, and he manages to pick one out and proceeds to stab Peko to death with it. Rest in peace to Peko. Junko recovers a knife from an unknown sponsor. Fuyiko, Natsumi, Gundam, and Pennyworth swim in a magical lake hidden deep beneath the arena, whose magical waters turn them all into chibi forms of themselves. Magic doesn't always have to be a good thing. The Great Gozu best Nagisa, Lysithia, Aiko, Kibo, and Kyoko in a Halloween costume competition. Nane Achiaki chases Masaru. Sonya catches Juzo off guard and kills him, and Jotaro ends the streak for faith and reason and dies from thirst, which means we lost another 15. We were getting actually very close to our saving grace picks because we've lost a lot of the time. But for right now, we gotta go ahead and get a Claire de Lune 4. Fat Togami, Gerald, Haiji, Felix, Aiba, Taka, Jin, Mikon, Oda, Hiro, Kurumi, Zero the Third, Peko, Juzo, Jotaro. See everybody's statuses. Also gonna do a quick check for how many people are still alive. 36. So 35 more until we get a winner. 20. Wait, no, I'm sorry. 26 more until we get your saving grace pick. Lamal. Are you guys ready? I guess we can do a quick rundown. There's not too many people. Holy Trinity Sheep completely in. Pimped Out Rides completely out. Nohei and Team is now completely out. Mikon's now gone from Band-Aid. Still holding strong for the Big Buff family and the Still-Minded Girls are Nekomaru and Sarah. The Thumbtack Terror still have Usami. Animaleer still have Aiko and Iris. Small and Mighty completely in. Way of the Sword gone. Blue Hair Betrayals has Sayaka. Hiro Kyoko and Jin remain for single parenting. The Babysitter Club still have Nagisa and Masaru. Mechanical Good Boys completely in. Togami Corporation has Pennyworth. Fight Club, your light bearers now only have the Great Gozu, still with no kills. Expert Deductions have Kyoko. Mind Trip with Pewter. Ultra Despair Boys with Taichi. The Base Bros, completely in. A New Hope, completely in. Healthy Appetites has Akane. TSM has Natsumi. Master Mages, Gundam, and Lysithia. The Loving Brothers has Corey and Alice. OG Squad still has a Junko. Murderous Mascots are now completely out. And Boss Time only has the title character, Boss. That's 36 folk. I hope you guys are ready. We gotta proceed. 26 until your saving grace pick. Do you need them? Some people probably do. There's a lot of teams still completely in, but there's actually a few popular teams completely out. As we proceed, we'll see another one gone because Monica kills Akane for her supplies at the start of night 3. Unable to get a fire going, surprisingly enough, between Magic, and Pennyworth, they were not able to get a fire going, so they had to huddle together for warmth. Masaru and Sonia work together to drown Sarah. That's the end of you steel-minded girls. Leon cuddles up against Chihiro. Okay. Sayaka, Nagisa, and Jin huddle together in a graveyard, staying overnight on a dare. Oh, that's terrifying. Poor Nagisa, he's probably having the worst time. Ibuki does a quick prayer to Atua before going to sleep. Gundam stabs Seiko with a tree branch. Oh, it's only Ibuki left. Oh no. Taichi sees Hajime, ties Hajime to a rocket and launches it into space. Oh, that's a shame. Kyoko prays to Atua that she makes it out of here with minimal bloodshed, of course. Aiko, Pewter, and Junko enter a scrum debate with Corey, Nani Aishiaki, and Iris. They argue about who's the best boy in Danganronpa. I think we all know the answer is my boy Gundam. Absolutely. It's not a contest. But maybe you'll scrum debate with me in the comments. Nekomaru ask Hiroko to guess what their favorite color in. Color is, Hiroko responds, a watermelon. A watermelon. Makoto hates Kibo so strongly that he's created an anti-squad against Kibo. Oh my gosh. Alice receives Malcolm Splash from an unknown sponsor. Mekamaru, Boss, and Fuyuko comment on what they find nice about one another to improve the mood. Oh, that's pleasant. Fuyuko might have a tough time with that, but you know, they're all a little bit cold on the exterior, but they all have hearts of gold. I like those three together, if I'm being completely honest. Natsumi thinks about home, and Kyutaro adopts the Great Gozu as his child. You know, Kyutaro, I'm sure you would, but I think the Great Gozu was older than you. We'll proceed to day 4. Fuyuko catches Nagisa off guard and kills him. Yikes. One more left for the Babysitters Club. Makoto hands Kyoko and Alice an invitation to his birthday party. They both tear up the invitation before his eyes. Kyoko, you've been real cold to my boy Makoto as of late. Leon defeats Mekamaru in a fight that spares his life. Monica sleeps the entire day away from everyone else. Kyutaro, Sonia are made into grotesque human dioramas by Kibo. Hey Makoto, maybe you had the right idea there. Maybe you had the right idea up there. Taichi, Jin, Nane Aichiaki, and Gundam swim in a magical lake deep beneath the arena whose mystical waters turn them all into chibi forms of themselves. Magic doesn't always have to be a good thing. Gundam, I think you were in that event twice. Saikaki. Is that gonna be what breaks me? Is that gonna be it? I can see that being it. Sayaka kills Boss, team that I love so much. Making sure that they will not enter the No, not yet. Not yet. Aiko sets up an ice cream shack. Natsumi comes and buys some. It tastes alright, but there's something off. It turns out it was coated with poison and Natsumi dies. My gosh. Pennyworth receives an explosion from an unknown sponsor. Masaru encounters a fruit bat It takes a liking to him. He's got a buddy by his side because now the rest of his team is out. Corey catches the despair disease and starts posing dramatically. Hiroko stalks Usami, Chihiro, Junko, and Nekomaru join the Adventurers Guild and are assigned roles based on their stats. Chihiro is the righteous knight, Junko is the wizened wizard, and Nekomaru is a janitor. Iris tries to find freaking janitor. Custodial expert. Iris tries to find every Monokuma on the school grounds. Lysithea goes, nya, nya. To annoy the Great Gozu, the Great Gozu stabs Lysithea in the chest. Ouch. Ibuki's phone rings and there's no caller ID when she picks up. It's just Pewter on the other line, insulting her. My gosh, Pewter, you have no chill apparently. We'll proceed. We lost another 10. 10 more gone. That brings us to our final 26, 16 more until your save and grace picks, but for right now, let's hit a Claire de Lune 4. Akane, Sarah, Seiko, Hajime, Nagisa, Kyutaro, Sonia, Boss, Natsumi, Lysithea. And we'll take a quick peek at everybody's statuses. Holy Trinity of the Sheep still has 2 in. Band-Aid still has Ibuki. Big Buff Family has Nekomaru. Thumbtack Terrorists have Usami, who's a strong competitor. You never count out the Thumbtack Terrorists. They won a championship. They're a tough team. Usami places well a lot. Animaleers still have Aiko and Iris. Small and Mighty still completely in. Blue Hair Betrayal. Sayaka. There's no beef, but she's pushing her luck. Single parenting has Hiroko and Jin. Masaru is still in for the Babysitters Club. Mechanical Good Boys completely in. Togami Corporation has Pennyworth. Right now, Fight Club, if the Great Gozu were to win, he would bring Lysithea with him, which means he would bring the entirety of the Master Mages with him. Also, the other caveat to Dying Light is if they're already in the finale, it doesn't count as a fan vote. They're just already in. The only way to earn fan votes in the tag team finale is, you know, repeat winners. Expert Deductions has Kyoko. Mind Trip has Pewter. Ultra Spared Boys has Taichi. Base Bros has Leon. A New Hope for Makoto. Master Mages has Gundam. Loving Brothers has Corey and Alice, and the OG Squad has Junko. I think the only teams that are completely in are the Mechanical Good Boys and Small and Mighty. Every other team has lost at least one person. Hopefully I didn't jinx them as we click proceed. Do not blame me if I did as we proceed to Night 4. Masaru refuses to leave and entered Fuyuhiko's side. See, look, that's beautiful. Nekomaru, Junko, and Usami comment on what they find nice about each other to improve the mood. That was probably Usami's idea. But Nekomaru's really been brightened up to it, so maybe the last time he did it, it really worked with him, Boss, and someone else. Kyoko thinks about winning. Alice, Aiko, Makoto, and Pewter make shadow puppets over the campfire. Everyone is so much better at it than Pewter that he starts to get jealous. Oh no. Pennyworth, Hiroko, Kibo comment on what they find nice about each other as well to improve the mood. That's beautiful. It's just been a nice day so far, except for Pewter, who's absolutely jealous. Nekomaru does a quick prayer to Atua before going to bed. Jin fends Taichi, Chihiro, and Monoko away from his fire. Corey was caught with the deleted muse. Corey, why is everyone testing my patience? But now I'll ground him. Do you have that on your phone? You're grounded too. Iris asks Nane Achiaki, what are you? Nane Achiaki responds with death, and then kills Iris. Yeah, you don't survive a one-liner like that. Gundam tried to set up a trap, unfortunately ends up trapping himself. A chill runs through Leon's core as Halloween approaches. Ibuki throws a knife into Sayaka's chest, and the Great Gozu fell out of the world. We'll proceed to day 5. Junko, Chihiro, and Kibo argue over what ingredients to buy for dinner. From the arena supermarket, Avia's Wares and Despairs, the best supermarket there's ever been. We got food, we got traps. Come on down to Avia's Wares and Despairs. Pennyworth receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Jin, Nekomaru, and Masaru hunt for other tributes. Makoto wishes for immortality and is promptly executed. Disqualified for cheating. Yes. Get out of here, Makoto. And that's the end of your team, actually. Nekomaru shows up on Aiko's murder list. Nekomaru shows Aiko his murder list. At the top of the list is Aiko's name, and it's in bold too. I don't know why you want to harm this small, innocent child, but you must have a reason, Nekomaru. Hiroko, Alice, Usami, and Fuyuhiko talk about their hobbies. Leon and Gundam make a list of chores for Monica to complete. I don't think she's gonna do that. Kyoko finds a violin and begins to play it horribly to Pewter's frustration. Nane Aichiaki tries to spearfish with a trident, and Taichi tends to Cory's wounds, and Ibuki searches for firewood as we go on to Claire de Lune. We only lost 4. 4 gone this time, which means, as a matter of fact, let's hit it right now for Iris, Sayaka, the Great Gozu, Makoto. We don't have that many left. Do we need 16 left, or now we need 12 left? Or 12 more until your saving grace back? Are we at 22? We are at 22. Quick math, quick math. You guys know who's left. Monica, Nane Aichiaki, Ibuki, Nekomaru, Usami, Aiko, Fuyuhiko, Chihiro, Hiroko, Jin, Masaru, Kibo, Mekamaru. They are trying to do what they did last time. They're trying to pull a repeat, and both of them survive as the final 2. Togami, Corporation Sauce, Pennyworth, Fight Club completely out, so the light bearers are completely gone. The light has darkened for this episode. Kyoko, Pewter, Taichi, Leon, Gundam, Cory in the house, Alice, and Junko. So we can go on. We can proceed. 22 left. 12 more until your saving grace pick. We have not gotten a feast or the arena event. One of those could just instantly change how this game is playing out as we start Night 5. Ibuki is awoken by nightmares. Cory severely injures Alice but puts him out of his misery. Rest in peace to Alice. That's your tag team partner. What are you doing? Cory? 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 That's not a party every week. Pennyworth's reflection in the mirror distorts to show him his true self. Is he pleased with what he sees as Monica kills the doll that was Mekamaru with a sickle? Taichi begs for his own son to kill him. Chihiro refuses, keeping Taichi alive. But on the other hand, Nekomaru just kills Leon for his supplies. Pewter holds a secret meeting with Junko, Kibo, Fuyuhiko, and Gundam. Jin, Aiko, Kyoko, and Usami hold a seance. Voice your questions to any departed souls with us. Hiroko stays awake all night long. Nane Aichiaki accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it, and Masaru climbs a tree but falls to his death, and that's the end of the Babysitters Club. I was hoping Masaru would get into the top 6, but he did not. As we proceed to day 6, Gundam sips on some apple cider. Ibuki glares at Pewter and says, "Do you want to die?" Pewter's like, "Nope," and dips. Monica, Pennyworth, and Usami successfully ambush and kill Nekomaru for the Big Buff family. They are completely out now. Hiroko and Jin. Cory, Chihiro, Taichi, and Kibo form a suicide pact, killing themselves. You just asked Chihiro to do it, and then you were like, well, if you won't do it, you're going out with me, with Cory and Kibo, apparently. My gosh. Junko refuses to let the leaves fall off the trees and tries to staple them on. Did you do that last time? Junko, you and this tree OCD, I don't know, okay. Fuyuhiko defeats Aiko in a fight but spares her life, and Kyoko gets stuck raking leaves. We might be at your final 6 teams now. Because we lost 12, which means we're at your final 10 people. Which means after this, Claire de Lune 4. Alice. Mekamaru. Leon. Nane Aichiaki. Masaru. Nekomaru. Hiroko. Jin. Cory. Chihiro. Taichi. Kibo. That's actually both of your Agents of Chaos this time, and both Mekamaru's. Yikes. Which means as we see everybody's statuses, I'll do one more double check to make sure that my math is not tripping, but that is 1 out of 10. Which means right now, if your picks are looking a little slacking, if for some reason the picks that you have had have been under constant attack, and I think it's time for you to get a second chance, to get a little bit of saving grace picks. It's your final 10. Holy Trinity of the Sheep has Monica. Ibuki remains for Band-Aid. The Thumbtack Terrors remain for Animal Ears. I'm sorry, that was so wrong. Usami remains for Thumbtack Terrors, and Aiko remains for Animal Ears, Fuyuhiko for Small and Mighty. We can scroll all the way down here. Pennyworth for the Togami Corporation, Kyoko for Expert Deductions, Mind Trip still in as well with Pewter, Gundam for the Master Mages, and Junko for the OG squad. So Junko, Gundam, Pewter, Kyoko. Pennyworth, scroll to Fuyuhiko, Aiko, Usami, Ibuki, and Monica. That's the top 10. 10 different teams now, one person for every team. It's a free-for-all. Who do you got? You know how to make your safe and grace picks. You know it by now, and if this is your first time around, then welcome. While you're here, check out the other seasons, check out the channel, like and subscribe. There's plenty of things going on, and it's a fun time. But go ahead. Edit your comment, comment on your comment, do what you gotta do to your comment. Comment on my comment, because I know YouTube comments have been doing some dumb stuff. They always have, and they always will. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But go and make your picks however you can, because I'm gonna make mine too. You remember, give me only the pick for first, your winning team. But 6 of these teams, not only will the top 6 technically right now will have their teams go to the tag team premiere, but the top 2 will also be going into the singles premiere, the top 2 single competitors. So who do you got? In terms of who I think is coming in first and second, that's what you guys can tell me, first, second. I got Kyoko for first. Because I don't think I've ever picked Kyoko other than the one time that she's won, so I'm gonna pick Kyoko this time. And give me Junko for second, because I still want the OG squad in. But those are my picks. Hopefully you've made yours, because this is a long one, so we just gotta keep on keeping on. It is Monica. It is Ibuki. It is Usami. It is Aiko. Fuyuhiko. Pennyworth. Kyoko. Pewter. Gundam, and Junko. A lot of good characters, really, if I'm being completely honest. As we approach, they're all going strong. Their hearts are beating as fast as that of a samurai woman's. It's your final 10. We have not had the feast, and we have not had an arena event, but we gotta go on and see if it happens as we proceed on to night 6. Throughout the entire night, Ibuki tells Monica a bunch of useless fun facts. I buy that. Pewter thinks about winning. Aiko was caught with the... Aiko, I've grounded so many people this game. You're grounded too, Aiko. You should have learned. You should have learned. Pennyworth, Kyoko, and Gundam have a battle at the edge of a cliff. The ground suddenly gives way, and Pennyworth and Kyoko fall off the edge. You know, I tried. I tried for Kyoko. I thought for some reason Kyoko and I had some random connection, but apparently we did not, because she is gone, and so is Pennyworth from the squad. So that's a double kick to the chest for me. Usami puts on a magic show. Fuyuhiko pushes Junko into a tank of piranhas during the show. That's a triple kick, because I think that's all of my squad members gone now. That's a bad night. That's a bad night for me. But we'll keep going. We'll proceed. Day 7. Ibuki confides in Pewter. Overcome with madness, Monica chains Fuyuhiko to a tree and makes him watch as she drowns Usami. Fuyuhiko actually survived. And I think that's now your top 6. Usami's gone. Just missed it for the Thumbtack Terrors. Aiko offers to sell her friendship to Gundam. Oh, I hope Gundam might actually take that. Gundam's a sweetheart. We'll proceed. We lost 4. Which means, yes, we are at your final 6. So as we go, after this, honestly, very terrible turnabout for me. Pennyworth. Kyoko. Junko. Usami. Those are both my picks for first and second. That sucks. But you know what? We'll see everybody's statuses. Because I can tell you now, Holy Trinity, the holy heck, Monica has 6 skills. Holy Trinity the Sheep, Band-Aid, Animal Ears, Small and Mighty, Mind Trip, and the Master Mages are your final 6 teams, which means those 6 teams will be heading all the way, tiptoeing, shamrocking to these Band-Aid My Girls. Hold on. We'll be heading to the tag team premiere for season 6. It was pointed out to me, I think last week in one of the comments, that Band-Aid all found their way this preseason to the singles premiere, and now, because of Ibuki, they're coming back to the tag team premiere. But Trinity Final 6, we still have to hit that samurai woman. I don't know who it's gonna be now. All of my picks are gone. Hopefully some of yours are still in. Let's go for it. Let's go ahead. Let's proceed. Tonight's 7. Pewter and Aiko talk about the tribute still alive. Fuyiko accidentally performed his forbidden action. Fuyiko. You were the champ, so yeah, I guess you didn't need to come into the top 2, but you did have to get here. You did have to get here. Ibuki hugs Monica, but Monica doesn't like it and kills her for it. Oh. Now, Ibuki is already in the singles finale, because now we gotta think about the singles finale. Gundam's not there. Pewter's not there and Aiko's not there. So between you three, 2 of you are going. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. It's also Agents of Chaos. Holy heck. Okay, we'll proceed. Yeah, we'll proceed, because that's what we're playing for. As we go to day 8, Aiko chases... Oh, Monica didn't like it and kills Ibuki. Monica's still in. I read that wrong completely. We'll go back to day 8. Aiko chases Gundam. Pewter receives a knife from an unknown sponsor, and Monica breaks out their cold weather wardrobe. We'll proceed to the arena event. Tributes gather together to go bobbing for apples. Aiko almost drowns trying to get an apple. Thankfully, Gundam pulls her up in time. Monica almost drowns as well. Thankfully, Pewter pulls her up in time. They were just having a good time. They just had a good time bobbing for apples. Now we'll proceed. We only lost 2. 2 people who were already in the singles finale, so it doesn't matter that much, but they could have been the Agents of Chaos. But for right now, we do have to still get a nice little a terrible turnabout for Fuyiko. Ibuki. So, see everybody's statuses real quick. Holy Trinity of the Sheep with holy heck 7 KOs to Monica. Animal Ears has Aiko still. They could be good Agents of Chaos. Holy Trinity of the Sheep could be good Agents of Chaos. Mind Trip, I feel like would be the most lackluster Agents of Chaos, but you know what, Pewter, Maya, I could feel it, I could vibe with it, and the Master Mages could be pretty good Agents of Chaos. That's our final 4. 2 of these people will be going to the singles finale, and the team that wins will be your new Agents of Chaos, your second ever tag team Agents of Chaos. But it is your final 4. It's not your top 10 to 6, so Monica, Aiko, Pewter, and Gundam are all caught in what we here like to call a lovely little crisis of fate. It's the final 4. We have not had the feast, so this could end real fast as we proceed. Gundam rests in a fruit tree. Pewter violently shakes the tree to retrieve some fruits. The trees have been hyperactive today. It also causes Gundam to fall to his death. That's the end of those 2. Which means now it's between Animal Ears and Holy Trinity of the Sheep. Aiko exploits Monica's kindness, ? Kindness? Monica? And has her do her humiliating task for her. It is between Aiko and Monica, which means shockingly, not really that shockingly, it was 4 people left. I have to stop, take a deep breath, and ask you guys who will it be? Who will be your next Agents of Chaos? The chaos is brimming. They can feel it so close. So very close. Aiko, gone before her time, never performed so well in a game. Could she do it for Animal Ears, Jin, and Iris? Or could it be Monica? The Holy Trinity of the Sheep, a team you should never doubt. A team who has used sheep to their advantage to get their every which way. To get wins? To get skills to get whatever they needed. We gotta remember, the infamous World Peace game, Monica became a sheep shifter. So who will it be? Aiko and Animal Ears. Monica and Holy Trinity of the Sheep. Aiko, Monica. Aiko, Monica. Aiko, Monica. Pewter, you're alive? Oh, it only caused Gundam to fall to his death. I am a fool! Pewter's trap actually kills Aiko. Monica covers her plans for the coming frost. Will proceed. Pewter is still alive. We only lost 2. It's a terrible turnabout for Gundam and Aiko. Which means this is turned around once again. Monica and Pewter, they both have an abundance of KOs. Pewter with 6 and Monica with 7. I thought Gundam landed on him, but there is a variant where you don't land on him. It just comes so infrequently that I just kind of figured they both got, but they didn't. I am shook. I'm shooken. I am shaking right now because I have to ask you guys again, who do you actually think it will be? Monica? That tease from before, will it be Monica or will it be Pewter? Monica for Nane, Chiaki, and Sonia, or Pewter for Maya? I'm all for either team now. That was such a, I don't know, in my mind I was like, oh. That's the second time. This has been such a long game. Monica or Pewter. It's gotta be. It has to be. It needs to be. Monica is unable to convince Pewter not to kill her. You know what this means? First of all, this is a little revenge in the form of Maya. If you haven't seen the anime, this Monica probably killed Maya and took her place in the form of a robot. Pewter probably heard that story, and you know what he said? I'll get her for you. And that is exactly what he did. Because I can tell you guys that for the first time ever, your winner, representing your new agents of chaos, Miss Maya and Mr. Pewter, infused with the chaos down to every fiber of their being. Now, take the win and embrace the chaos. I had a funny feeling as soon as Pewter survived, I was like, oh, well, he's got this. Commentators, that's the opposite of commentators curse. When the commentator forgets about you, that's when you were the safest. We'll proceed. So tying up at 7, you two were in first and second, but Monica just didn't want that chaos enough. But she did want to make sure that she was in both of these singles and the tag team premieres, and that is what she did. Pewter's over here kind of just like, hey, I'm Pewter. How do you do? How do you do? He got it from Maya, who didn't finish well at all, right? Yes, 72nd place. So we got Pewter, Monica, Aiko in 3rd, Gundam in 4th, Ibuki in 5th, and Fuyiko in 6th. And those 6 teams will help round out the singles. I'm sorry, the season 6 tag team premiere. We have the Rats, we have Combat Science, we have the Power of God and Anime, we have Astrophysics, we have the Entourage, we have Literary Arts, we have Small and Mighty, we have Band-Aid, we have the Master Mages, we have Animal Ears, we have Holy Trinity of the Sheep, and we have your Agents of Chaos, Mind Trip. That's your top 6. Usami took 7th, Junko took 8th, Kyoko took 9th, and Pennyworth rounded off your top 10. We'll do a slow scroll for everybody else. This could have been the last time you saw every team that you just saw, except for the top 6 right now. Together, even they could potentially break up some of them. Could. They have to win the title. The only team that's technically safe right now is Mind Trip. Every other team, not entirely safe. We'll continue that slow scroll. There it is. Poor Kotoko, she's had it rough. I think she's in tomorrow's episode too though, so it's whatever. We'll proceed. It all started with Karumi. She was like, I gotta do this for boss time, so I don't resent you for that. I do resent freaking Sayaka though, for taking out boss. And it all ended with Mai being unable to convince Pewter not to kill her. When Pewter got his mind to it, he can do whatever he wants to. We'll proceed again. Monica with 7, Pewter with 7, Gundam with 4, Hiroko with 4, Pekka with 4, Sayaka with 4. Everyone else 3 or less. There's your top 6 teams: Mind Trip, Holy Trinity of the Sheep, Animaleers, Master Mages, Band-Aid, and Small and Mighty, heading to the Single 6, the Season 6. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Singles 6. It's Season 6, a tag team. It's because you know it's tomorrow. The Singles Agents of Chaos. Because we gotta get one of those too. So we'll go back and we'll see. Nothing else. We'll just go back to the reaping. Unfortunate time for the Great Gozu, Juzo, and Felix. The Great Gozu is the only one who got a KO, and he really almost won it. He almost would have taken... I don't remember who he KO'd, if I'm being completely honest. I have to go back and check. But that's it. That's it. Mind Trip. They've been a quiet team. Quiet Maya, of course. They were a quiet team. Of course they would be. But I'm excited for them. This is going to be truly chaotic. I can feel the chaos vibes from the both of them. Maya caused a whole bunch of chaos in DR3, if we're being completely honest. And Pewter, I'm not gonna spoil anything from the Somnant Files. He was a cool dude. Cool, smart dude. But ladies and gentlemen, until tomorrow, which will be a much smaller game, it'll be about a normal sized game in the other simulator to determine the... Oh, it'll be a quick game actually, because they all have weapons. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna be chaos, which fits clearly. Fits very clearly. Stay classy. Year of the Horizon. Toodaloo. Flight Crew. Thanks for watching.